Hello there. I'm going to make a veggie dinner tonight. Mozzarella, portobello mushrooms. And we're going to cook them in a cast iron pan. So I'm starting out with 5 nice sized portobello mushrooms. Aren't they beautiful? They are the type you would make in a slider roll, about that size. Okay, and then I'm going to use about a pound of fresh Brussels sprouts, a little bit of garlic, some salsa, some mozzarella cheese, of course, and I'm going to season it with olive oil and thyme. I have some fresh thyme here. So the first thing that I'm going to do is take the cast iron pan, put a little olive oil on the bottom, and I'm going to slice up these beautiful Brussels sprouts into about thirds. And then we're going to saute them a little bit first in the pan. So let me get that started. I'm going to cut them up and I'll show you how to do the rest of it. Okay. Alright, this is how I'm going to cut the Brussels. I'm going to cut the hard end off. Nobody wants to eat that. And then I usually sit it on that hard spot so it's easy to cut without slipping, and I cut it into thirds. And this is what I call shaved Brussels sprouts. If you have really big ones, you can actually cut that one into fourths. Alright, let's just do a couple of those and we're going to put them in the cast iron pan and get them going. So here's a smaller one, and you might want to cut that one into thirds. But I find that sitting it on that flat spot makes it a lot safer to cut because these slip around a little bit. Okay, I'm going to cut up this pound and we're going to get them all together here in the cast iron pan. And then I'll be right back. I cut up the Brussels sprouts. Now I'm going to cut up the thyme and add some garlic and a little olive oil. The rest is real quick. I usually cut up the thyme by folding it in half and just chopping through it. The stems are a little hard, but we're going to get them nice and small. If you have any big stems there, just toss them out. Alright, let's sprinkle the thyme in there. We're going to take a little garlic and squirt that in there too. This is already chopped. It'll be good. The thyme smells great. Okay. Now I have some regular olive oil. We're going to give it a drizzle of that. I'm going to take this to the stove and start frying it a little bit. We're stir frying the Brussels sprouts here. Look how nice they are. Nice bright green. We're going to watch the color change a little bit. When they start to get a little bit darker, we'll be ready to add the mushrooms to the dish. Cast iron is a great way to cook something like this because while we stop to add the other ingredients, the cast iron pan keeps the heat in. A little bit longer. In the meantime, I'm going to prepare the mushrooms and get them ready to go. While the Brussels are sizzling over there, I'm going to take these mushrooms and get them ready to go. Now I washed all of these, but I am going to take off some of the extra white part around the edge here. We want to leave the part with the gills completely open to our toppings. Now I do break out the stem, okay? Take the stem out of there, and we're going to cut that up. Cut all the extra pieces, and we're going to throw them in with the Brussels sprouts. Okay? So let's just get these all lined up. Get all the extra stuff off. These are beautiful mushrooms. Portobellos. And these are grown nearby us here in Pennsylvania. Alright. Now I'm going to take some of the salsa, and I'm using a hot habanero flavor of salsa. We like this one. It's a little spicy. We're going to fill the centers of the mushrooms. just right. And add lots of flavor with that little spoonful. Then we're going to take a piece of mozzarella cheese, lay it over top. Alright, let me check on the Brussels. I'm going to cut to the sizzle here. Alright, now see how nicely these are cooking? They got nice brown edges. Wow, that's where all the flavor comes in. Now just for a moment I'm going to steam these. So I have a little cup of water here. And I'm going to let the steam rise up and caramelize. Ready? Look at all that brown flavor bubbling up there. Can you see that? Hard to hear when it's making so much noise. I'm going to add all these mushroom pieces I was just telling you about. We're going to stir them in. Alright, as soon as the steam dies down here, we're going to add the mushrooms. Smoke alarm. I always do that. Alright, now I'm going to spread these out evenly, and I'm going to make a nice little nest for the portobello. I'm going to position them all around, and this bed of Brussels sprouts is going to hold them nice and straight with all that salsa inside. Alright, something like that. Now I turn the heat down. Here's the beauty of the cast iron pan. We can cook the rest of this without burning it because the pan holds the heat to a nice temperature, and we can turn the heat down on the stove. So I'm going to take another cup of water and pour this in. And then I'm going to cover it. And we're going to let that sizzle. We're going to let that sizzle. Get that down deep enough. Only lid I have big enough for this cast iron pan is one from an old soup pot. But it does the trick. It'll hold the steam in there for us. Might get a little cheese on it. But we'll be back in about 10 minutes. We're going to let this cook on low. We'll wait for the mushrooms to get cooked nicely, and we'll get them out and show you how they look. Take a peek there. Look how they're cooking. Don't they look nice? Wow. Okay, now the mushrooms look like they're completely cooked. They're nice and tender. Let's take a look at the Brussels sprouts, because we want them to be tender too. They're nicely browned, and we can easily cut them. Look how beautiful. Alright, they're all ready to eat. We're going to let them sizzle a little bit more, and then put them on the plate and cut them in half. Alright, let's get them on serving plate here. They really look nice. And their Brussels sprouts underneath are nice and brown with all the juices from the mushrooms, because they spread their juice out like a steak. Alright, we're going to bring over. Even some of the mozzarella went down into the mushrooms, so it's going to be very flavorful. Alright. Now, let me cut one of these open. So I'm going to get a lot of the juice on the plate, because it'll be nice to eat with the mushrooms. Alright, let's cut this one in half and see how nice it looks inside. Alright, I just want to show you how nice and tender the mushroom is, the salsa, the cheese, and then we'll mix in with that some nice Brussels sprouts. I hope you like this meal. Try it if you like the recipe. And thanks for watching my videos.